The sun bleeds gold into the valleys below, painting the dusty plains in hues of amber and crimson. High atop this wind-swept hill stands a lone figure silhouetted against the dying embers of the day. His name is Enoch, and he is staring at a distant horizon, lost in the swirling mists of memory. In his old age, Enoch has traded his bow and spear for a staff, but his gaze remains sharp. He remembers when this world was new, when the whispers of the wind carried the sweet fragrance of blooming Eden. Da, da, and the laughter of children echoed freely across the plains. But those carefree days are gone, replaced by the haunting strains of a lone flute and the shadow of a fallen world. For Enoch is the son of Cain, the first murderer, cursed by God to wander the earth as a fugitive for the rest of his days. And yet, despite their tainted lineage, the descendants of Cain have flourished. Scattered across the face of the earth, they have become builders and craftsmen, farmers and warriors, musicians and storytellers, but nowhere more so than here in this place called Nod, which means exile in Hebrew. It is one of the oldest cities in the world, older than Jericho and Babylon, older even than the great city of Shur, which some say was founded by the giants who walked the earth before the flood. For Nod is the city that was built by none other than Cain himself, the blood brother of Abel, the first victim of fratricide. But how did Cain, the outcast, the eternal wanderer, come to build a city? A monument to permanence in a world where his very essence was condemned to ceaseless motion. How did the descendants of the murderer become the most numerous of all families on earth? And what secrets lie buried within the ancient walls of Nod, the city of exile? The story of Nod begins with the fall of Eden, the expulsion of our first parents from the blissful garden of their creation. For after slaying his brother Abel out of jealousy, Cain was banished from the presence of the Lord, and wandering alone across the face of the earth, he came upon a place far from the light of Eden, a shadowed vale hidden among the mountains, where the whispering grass concealed a secret and a curse. This was the land of Nod, the place of exile, where the veil between the worlds was thin and the echoes of forgotten gods lingered in the mist. Here Cain built his city, named after his firstborn son, Enoch, a refuge for those who walked in the shadow of the murder most foul. In the book of Jubilees, we hear a different tale. After killing Abel, Cain fears that his father Adam will slay him in retribution. So he flees to the Lord and asks for protection, and as a sign of his repentance, he builds an altar and offers a sacrifice. Then the Lord speaks to him, saying, "I will accept thy sacrifice, but because thou hast shed thy brother's blood upon the ground, cursed art thou from the earth, which shall not henceforth yield her fruit unto thee, nor the trees of the field bring forth their fruits for thee. Cursed art thou from the face of the Lord." And there we have the origin of Nod. It is not simply a place of exile, but a place cursed by God. Yet Nod still thrives. It is home to generations of men and women who live fruitful lives, raise families, tend flocks and herds, craft tools and weapons, sing songs and tell stories around the campfire, laugh and love beneath the endless sky. They are artisans and scholars, hunters and farmers, warriors and priests, each generation building upon the last until over time, Nod becomes the beating heart of human civilization, the birthplace of culture and commerce, metalworking and masonry, poetry and philosophy. Some say that the walls of Nod are alive with whispers from beyond the grave, the ghosts of the ancient ones still walking the ramparts, watching over the city they once called home. Or perhaps it is the wind sighing through the crumbling stones, carrying with it the scent of rain and distant seas. Yet amidst the bustling marketplace and the clanging of the smith's hammer, a shadow lingers, the specter of violence and bloodshed, for Nod was built by a murderer, and the sins of the father are visited upon the children. Throughout history, Nod is besieged by its enemies, attacked by nomads and kings, tyrants and conquerors, consumed by fire and flood, only to rise again from the ashes like a defiant phoenix. Its people bear witness to the rise and fall of empires, the march of progress and the ebb and flow of fortune. They see the best and worst of humanity, the heights of achievement and the depths of depravity, the bonds of kinship and the scars of betrayal. What did Cain build? Is it a sanctuary for his cursed people, a refuge from the wrath of God and the judgment of man? Or was it the very antithesis of Eden, a monument to rebellion, a fortress of defiance in the face of divine decree. After all, the descendants of Cain spread across the face of the earth, becoming princes and paupers, heroes and villains, saints and sinners. They are the architects of grand cathedrals and the sculptors of pagan idols. They are kings and counselors, soldiers and merchants, poets and prophets, teachers and tormentors. Was Nod then a curse upon the world, a cancer of chaos that festers at the heart of civilization, corrupting all it touches? Or was it a blessing, a crucible of hardship that forged the steel of human endurance, a proving ground where only the strong survive and the gifted few become masters of their craft? We find the answer in the words of the poet John Milton, who wrote, "Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven." For whether cursed or blessed, Nod endures. It weathers the storms of history and comes out stronger, more resilient, more determined to survive. In the face of extinction, its people innovate, inventing tools and weapons, developing new skills and trades, pushing the boundaries of human ingenuity. They form alliances, forge great works of art, erect towering monuments to their gods and their ancestors, leaving behind a legacy that will inspire future generations for millennia to come. But amid the triumphs and tragedies, the laughter and the tears, the hopes and dreams, a single question echoes through the ages. What is Nod? Is it a prison or a palace? A punishment or a prize? A wound or a wisdom? A darkness or a dawn? For Nod is more than just a city. It is a state of mind, a way of life, a testament to the indomitable spirit of mankind. It is the story of every refugee and exile, every wanderer and traveler, every seeker of fortune, and every dreamer of impossible things. Nod is the story of us, or the children of Nod, and this is our story. And so the tale of Nod continues to be told and retold, passed down from generation to generation, until it becomes a part of our collective memory. It reminds us of our shared history, our common struggles, and our endless capacity for innovation and renewal. But perhaps the greatest lesson of Nod is that no matter where we go, no matter how far we roam, we carry the burden of our past with us wherever we go. The sins of the father are visited upon the children, and the curse of Nod is a reminder of the fragility of human existence. For in the end, all we have is our freedom, and all we know is that as long as we keep moving, as long as we keep searching for a better life, we will always have hope. And that is the true legacy of Nod, the eternal flame of hope that burns brightly in the darkest of nights.